Alright people, what's going on? Denonu here, aka the man with black privilege. And just as I said earlier in my Flash video, again, I apologize for this really old gameplay. I just don't have anything new that that's around like the 10-minute mark that I can put this commentary on, but so I just had to go back and grab this one. So again, I hope I'm not reusing video content. But anyway, we got, episode 2 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season, what, 2, 3? I think season 3 now. But, I just wanted to give my thoughts upon it. So this is going to be unscripted, rambling off the top of my head, just giving my initial thoughts after just got watching the episode. And I'm liking it. I'm still liking it. I'm liking it a lot, actually. Even more so than the episode of Flash that I watched earlier. Because in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., one thing I was knocking the Flash for, but I can understand it, was the budget. They have the budget to make the episodes bigger and better than what they are. And they don't skip out on the CG and stuff like that. And they're really starting this season off with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They're just like getting the ball rolling, jumping you right into things. And, I don't know what to expect, honestly. Like, one thing that happened at the pinnacle, or as the pinnacle of the episode, you had less on the powers and the superhero-ness of it when it comes to, the main characters and all that, but you had a lot of character dynamics and stuff, and that's one thing I do like about S.H.I.E.L.D. They have better writing than, let's say, Arrow or The Flash when it comes to this kind of sort of stuff. They have a lot of witty banter and a lot of back and forth with the characters that really kind of makes the show, if you're a fan of that. Whereas in Flash, it's kind of, or in Arrow, it's kind of typical TV show stereotypes that you can see coming from a mile away. I mean, that's just the way it is. But whereas with Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., it's, you don't know how things are going to go based on the writing. And besides that, they always like to throw curveball at you. And in this episode, you had, they showed Ward, finally, and what he was doing, and rebuilding Hydra. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that. I'm going to have to wait to see what they do, because if they were me, I would kind of don't even touch on Hydra no more. You already did that. It's kind of redundant at this point. They did it, what, 3 times? You had season 1, season 2. You had, Hydra in Captain America, Winter Soldier. So it's kind of redundant by now. Like right now, it's like, okay, you can mention Hydra, introduce a character, and you can be like, oh, where they came from, and be like, oh, I used to work for Hydra. They're already established. You know where they're coming from. So for them to bring up like Ward and be like, oh, I'm rebuilding Hydra, we're gonna make it better. It's like, come on, man. It's like you're retreading the same idea. That's why I think they're gonna put their own little spin on it. I gotta wait to see how that plays out. I don't know how, they're going to bring in Von Strucker's kid in it. I mean, that just seems kind of weird. I personally think Ward is just using him for something, and they just haven't shown what that something is yet. Because I'll be damned if, if they're going to bring him in and be like, oh, look, now you're the leader, and you don't know shit about fucking Hydra. So I honestly think that he's just getting played, and, he's going to think he's the big boss when he's not. One of the other major things that happened with this is dealing a lot with the monolith, and with what happened with Simmons and all that kind of sort of stuff. And Fitz is trying to figure it out. This episode picked up right where the last one left off, where he, walked in there with the monolith with the shotgun and was putting in the word, screaming at the monolith. And I really liked that at the end of the last episode, but they, picked up right back where this left off with this one. And it's, they kind of show you what happens, where he thinks that it's this, and they don't have no proof, and except I think they find some sand on them or something like that, and then they go look up the sand, and they realize, like, hey, look, this sand didn't come from Earth. So that kind of sort of proves it, and then they just jump in head over heels for trying to, rescue Simmons at that point, because now they got proof. So they go back and talk to the Asgardian guy, who's played by that one guy who's been in tons of movies and stuff. But they actually go back and get his character from one of the earlier episodes. I think it's season 1, because I think that's where his character was. I know he was in another episode when they found like an Asgardian artifact, and it was messing with people and whatnot. So I'm glad that they kind of bringing back these other characters. I personally wish that they would bring back, what's his name? I want to say he was in the first episode of the show. But he was the guy, for those of you who don't know, the person I'm talking about is Graviton. And he's a Marvel supervillain where his power is the ability to control gravity. And in the first episode, he was the scientist who developed these little machines that would basically warp gravity. And he fell into, it was like this gravity liquid, stuff. And at the end of that episode, it kind of showed him coming out of it a little bit, so you can see that he wasn't just completely dead. So I'm hoping they bring him back, because he's like one of my favorite supervillains. Not because he did anything great, but just because gravity has always been one of my most favorite universal founding force, and it's kind of like something that's completely unbeatable by anything. So I always did love his character for that. But anyway, getting off topic. They kind of sort of jump back in with the Asgardian guy. He sees the evidence that Fitz has about the word that he found in the last episode. And he's seen it before, and it kind of shows you a glimpse before, they even went to him. It showed you a little cutscene of, I guess, from people in England sacrificing people to the monolith for some weird reason. So I don't know if I'm going to assume, I assumed, wait, before, let me explain that. Before, I assumed that Simmons being on his alien planet was going to be the crutch of the season, like at the end of the season, they were going to get her back, like they were going to figure out whatever this planet, whatever Kree planet she was on or whatever, they were going to get her back. And that was going to lead into the whole Kree and Inhumans thing, as people with powers pop up here and there and all that kind of sort of stuff. And they got to deal with that. But again, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they like to throw curveballs at you, because at the end of the episode, they got Simmons back. Surprised the fuck out of me. I just knew that they were going to fail with that. So I really have no idea where they're going to go, because the moment you suspect one thing, they kind of sort of throw that, curveball, and it's like, you don't know where they're going to go, so it's like, and I like a show that can do that, that can make you, suspect one thing and then, throw something another way, because then it makes you think about what they're going to do. And I'm not a fan of shows where you can predict everything, even though I may enjoy it. But you also got to see May and see what some of the stuff and, what she's dealing with. And she's with her father, hiding out and getting away from trying to get away from her S.H.I.E.L.D. life and all this kind of sort of stuff. But really can't do it, because it's not who she is. So I thought that was pretty cool. Waiting to see her join back with the team. I want to see Chun-Li kick some ass again. Missing that, because that's like half my enjoyment of the show. Trying to think what else really happened. You got Ward being Ward. I'm glad they didn't kill him off. Or let's say do something where it's like, oh, let me just put him in a coma or something. I'm glad they didn't squash his character, because I like him better as, let's say, the anti-hero / bad guy, rather than the Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. guy that he was in season 1. So I really do like his vindictive character. Even towards the end of season 2, they try to make him kind of soft-hearted with understanding with, I think, what's her name? Agent 13. I didn't like that all too much, but I'm glad they just did like a complete 180 after she died and was just like, you know what? I'm going to be who I am, and that kind of sort of thing. So that was pretty cool. But other than that, I really don't know where they're going to take it. And it's one of those things where it's like, I can't wait, can't wait till next week to see where they go, That's the kind of enjoyment that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and this episode in particular is bringing me. Because I'm assuming they're going to jump right into the whole Inhuman thing, because if they're not doing that other planet, then they have to be doing the Inhuman thing. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on it, on episode 2. And my name is Denonu, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.